Welcome to Detroit Lions Live Cure Auto Insurance post-game show. We are live from Ford Field. There you see the final score. Detroit Lions 20, Atlanta Falcons 6 here in week 3 of the NFL. A big day for the Detroit Lions to refocus and bounce back after a loss to the Seattle Seahawks in week 2. Alongside Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Detroit gets it done today. A big part of that coming from Detroit Lions defense. Before we get into that.
Thank you. We got something?
We got the Sully back.
There you go.
And then Lomas just hosts the show because I walk off set. I'm back. Okay, let's get into this defense, Lomas, to start things off. 7 sacks.
Yes.
Mind you, Detroit had just 1 in the first 2 weeks. What changed?
Oh my God, Danny, it was refreshing to see that. But I think the biggest thing was our interior guys, Aleem McNeil, all those guys in the middle. They got middle pressure on Desmond Ridder today, and that just helped the guys coming off the edges. Your Charles Harris, your Aiden Hutchinson, all those guys were able to eat today. But it started with those big guys up front getting that pressure, and it was a welcoming sight to see today.
Those 44 rushing yards by Atlanta sticks out. That is their bread and butter. They win with Bijan Robinson and Desmond Ridder carrying the ball, and Tyler Algier too, and just 44 on the ground. That sends such a big message.
I'm telling you, our defense, they came out and they sent that message that, look, we're here. We know what you guys thought of us last year. This isn't the same old Lions defense, and they proved it today. Pressure on the quarterback, stopping the run, gap savvy. Those guys did it all. PBUs, you name it, they did it today on defense.
And on the back end, that secondary, Brian Branch, the rookie, he was everywhere.
You sure he's a rookie?
He's a rookie.
Oh, my goodness. He played like a 10-year vet today. It was incredible to see him. Every time we looked up, Brian Branch was making plays. Again, in the run game, he was very strong. He was defending guys all day long. He did it all today. He was like that jack of all trades today. He was the man that was everywhere when we needed him today.
I want to see what the head coach, Dan Campbell, has to say about the so-called rookie as well. He's standing by at the podium now. Let's throw it to Coach Campbell.
That was a big win. I was proud of our guys. I was really proud of the staff. It's not always easy to deal with me, and so they did a great job of prepping these players, and collectively, wanting to bounce back after last week. It was a tough loss, and we knew the type of opponent was coming in here. That's a good football team, and that's a physical football team, and. If you're not on your game, I mentioned this, but that team will run right through you. And man, we played a physical, violent game. Our defense was outstanding. AG did a hell of a job, and we looked like a hungry team. We looked like a hungry, violent defense. We got takeaways, we had tackles, TFLs. Guys were flying around the football, pretty good in coverage. And we were around the quarterback a lot. So I was proud of those guys. I was proud when we needed the most on offense. We came through with a big one. Goff hung in there. He took a few shots, but, man, he played a tough game. And that old line just kept banging away, But, look, it's a great win. It really is, knowing the opponent that we just came from. So, questions? Look, I think that those are prideful guys in there. We've got players that are it means something to them, and so do the coaches. And so we're collectively trying to help ourselves get a little bit better. And I thought AG did a great job with the game plan. We wanted to find a way to generate a little more pressure, and we did that with a couple of things that we did. But also, guys really showed up. They really won their one-on-ones today, a lot of guys. So, and we fought on the back end, we really did. I thought we covered pretty good. Certainly there's some penalties we got to clean up, and we knew there would be. This crew is the They've been the highest in 2 years, so we knew there would be, but it's still too much. We can't have that. But we overcame it, and defense really set the tone for the day, and I thought the offense finished it. I totally agree. He really stepped up. You could feel his energy. And I've said this, he gets better every practice, every day he gets a little bit better. And now some of those critical errors aren't as, particularly today, he's making big plays in critical moments as opposed to the other way. So there again, he just, the more he plays, the better he gets. And the more he understands what we're trying to do with him. And he's a playmaker,
The offense stepped up with Jahmyr Gibbs coming through with 80 yards, 17 carries, stepping in for Montgomery. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, Gibbs did some good things, Look, that D-line, that's a good D-line. And they rotated them, but that first D-line in there, and they're tough now, Grady Jarrett and Onyemata and Campbell, and, so we knew we were, we had our work cut out for us. It was going to be a challenge. But we also knew it was going to take a while. We had to just hang in there and have patience about it and keep going. And look, I thought as that game went on, particularly there late, Gibbs started going. He started to find a little bit of his rhythm, and I think that's a good thing. And that's kind of what I felt about. He just needs, when the light really comes on, it's going to come on. And I could feel there towards the end. There's a couple of those runs, his back-to-back runs, where you feel like, all right, here he goes. He's starting to feel this a little bit. So and he'll only get better with time and with reps. He just will, That's,
So you mentioned the defensive line being prideful guys. You think this was a case of them hearing some of the slander that was directed towards him this week, taking that to heart, or just sort of finding the breakthrough?
slander.
I mean, just people talking sort of in the media about, how they're not getting there, they're not getting it done, the defense.
I don't know, because I just go back there again. I mean, last week we turned the ball over for touchdown for 7 points, and then we turned the ball over there in the tight red, and you kind of spotted them 14 points, But I guess, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how many of those guys read into that, and if they're getting slandered, they play better. I don't know how they respond to that. I just know collectively as a defense, we were on it, and guys came out, and everybody was in tune with the way we wanted to play. And it's not like we didn't play hard last week. It's just, man, you got to clean things up, and you got to have everybody on board. And I just thought the game plan was great. I thought the guys executed it well, and I thought we played with a lot of intensity and tempo, set the tone for the day, and it just really never stopped.
Did you feel like Hutchinson was getting closer and closer and was due for that type of game, knocking the ball loose?
Look, anytime Hutch rushes, I think he's going to get there, because it's the nature of the way he rushes, man. He's high motor. He's got craft about what he does, He's not a one-trick pony. He's got a couple of different moves, and he's got ability. So I always expect it, And just there again, I just bring this up. The sacks are always going to be good because you're getting them to the ground, but there's a lot of times where just because you're not getting a sack doesn't mean it doesn't affect the quarterback. So, but it was good. It was good for us to finish out that way.
And on the other side, the offensive line makeshift gave Goff a lot of time and gave some room to run.
Yeah. Listen, we talk about it all the time, and that's really defensively too. I mean, we had Nelson, then Skip's got to come in, then Sorsdale's got to come in. Defense, we don't have Kirby. Iffy, I thought Iffy'd made some plays today. At safety, he's really never played very much at safety. He's been repping there a little bit, so that was encouraging. But we talk about it all the time. It's next man up, and that's a credit to Brad and the depth that we have on this team in areas, and it's paying dividends, But no, it's not easy. It's not easy for anybody. But those guys really stepped up and competed, and that old line took care of. They were making sure we were taking care of Sorsdale, and he battled out there. He really did. So. Backs ran hard, and we did what we needed to do to control that game, And look, when you lose a couple of tackles in a game, that's not easy, And when you're without a few pieces, that's not easy for Ben, to always call a game like that when you're missing a few things here and there. But I thought he did a heck of a job calling the game. I thought that Goff, stepped in there and made some big throws, played tough. I thought the backs ran hard, and I thought the O-line they kept pounding away. And we finally were able to, to break it open there at the end of the game. So it was definitely a team effort.
In today's NFL, to hold the team essentially to one field goal, right field goal would make 6. Can you just talk about how hard that is?
It's very difficult. You can't always, as much as you want to talk about playing that type of defense, it's hard to bank on that. Offensive football has really come a long way, and so it's very difficult. And I think that's pretty telling for what we were able to do today. That was an impressive performance by our guys, and it helps when you're able to take them out of what they do best, which we were able to do. That's what we were trying to do last week against Seattle is take them out of that game. But we were able to do it today, and now you feel like you got the upper hand. So we were able to do that early. Offense was able to hold on to that ball and score enough points and, kind of stay within that 2-score lead. And, it really allowed us to do a lot of things defensively. So.
Couple more guys. You play this tight end position, obviously. And you look at Jared Goff and the trust that he's having in Sam LaPorta so early. I guess what is he doing so unique to develop that trust early? And I guess some of the traits, I don't know if you saw the record, but 3 straight games of 5 receptions. He's the first rookie to ever do that.
Yeah.
Starting off so strong and gaining the trust of Goff so early.
Well, I think that a lot of that is, that's because he's built that trust with Goff. He's a very trustworthy player because of the way that he practices and the fact he doesn't make the same mistake twice. And so when you're a young guy like he is, and you can see vast improvement, and you're a coach or you're Goff, and you're asking for something once, and you're going to get it, and you're not going to get the other ever again. That's easy to build trust with a guy like that. So he's got a pretty good rapport with him. He's beginning to look for him a little bit, and which only helps us. That only alleviates a little stress off of Saint and the other guys. And the kid's playing pretty good right now, and he's. I told the staff yesterday, he's just quietly getting better and better and better. And I don't know how quiet it is anymore, but he really is just. He's beginning to take off.
Dan, on your ball that Jared threw hardest. I see Justin and Brett. I think the ball that Jared threw hardest was the one that he chucked into the stands after the touchdown run. Whose call was that? You want to take credit for it? Was that Jared calling his own number? Or is that?
No. That was Ben's call. It's a great call. That was a great call. And well, look, those always are going to mean more to Goff because he still thinks he's a running quarterback. He doesn't want anybody to forget that. Look, I can throw it, but don't forget I can run it. I think he. No, listen, it was a great job. It really was. He felt the end close and he pulled it. It's not something we do. That's rare that we call that, but Ben thought it felt like it would work, and Goff executed. It was a great job.
Was that designed for that? Because he sort of blocked back on
Mm-hmm.
That was designed.
Yeah, it was designed.
Justin, how did you ever heard the crowd here? Because at times in the press room, I was like, wait, it's pretty.
Man, our fans were outstanding. It was loud. And I do believe it had an effect on them. And man, that was early, and it was all the way through the game. Man, when you're able to get them in some third downs, some of those nice 3rd and 8s, 3rd and 10s, our crowd really showed up. You always know when your eardrums are radiating like this, then it's pretty good. So this is the type of environment you want to have.
In your opening comments, you said you're not always easy to work with. I'm just wondering, this week, was there?
No, I just applied a little pressure, and and the guys did a heck of a job. They responded well. The coaches really did, and the players did a great job. Everybody, we got back on our feet, and we got a tough one now on the road at Green Bay, and in a short week. So this is the no sleep and do whatever you got to do to stay awake and put together a great game plan, and for the players to, man, they're on they got to have recovery, and that can be their sole focus. They got to do everything it takes to get their bodies back by Thursday. So it's not easy on anybody, but that's what we're charged with.
Thanks, guys. We'll have Hutch and Jared in here momentarily.
Thanks.
Saint, great game. Is that the best catch you've ever made?
Actually, there was one better.
When? The Chicago game?
Minnesota?
No, getting Cure Auto Insurance.
Are you for real?
Seriously, when I got here in Michigan, car insurance was the worst. But saving up to 40% by switching to Cure was my best catch.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. You just heard from the head coach, Dan Campbell. One thing that did stick out to me is the penalties. We looked at them.
Yeah.
10 penalties for over 100 yards. But those things you can clean up. Let's talk about the amount of players that Detroit was down today. We just went over this, Lomas. You don't have running back number 1, David Montgomery. Yep. He's down right now. You don't have 2 of your offensive starting linemen, Taylor Decker, Halapula Vadi Vaitai. And then you don't have safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who is out for the foreseeable future with a pec injury, and Kirby Joseph, who is down right now too. Did you count? Because I lost.
Got him. I got you. I got you covered.
It's a big
Danny.
hand. Yeah.
Yes, I got you covered. But you're right. But that's a testimony to the next guy up.
Mm-hmm.
That's all Dan Campbell and this coaching staff's talked about. The next guy up. These guys stepped in, and even during the game, we lost a couple of guys during the game, lost both of our tackles during the game. So Corey Soares there, he stepped up and was able to go in there and provide some. So that's the thing about it. When you have a team, it's up to those other guys that have to step in there and keep the level of play at a certain level.
Woo, and they did.
Yes.
Jared Goff keeps his play
Come
at
on,
a very
twinkle
high
toes.
level. Twinkle toes. He got the chance to get out in space and run the ball a little bit today. That quarterback keeper, what were you guys saying about him?
Oh, yeah, especially, you don't see Jared get out there much, but we were up in the booth kind of teasing him because, he almost, I think the turf monster almost got him once, Danny, but he got in that end zone. It was great to see. It was a great play call from Ben Johnson because it's something unexpected that you don't expect Jared to be able to do, but he was able to roll out and get in that pay dirt, and we loved it.
And he was also able to find the rookie tight end, Sam Laporta.
Oh, my goodness.
Woo! He became the first NFL rookie tight end to have five catches in his first 2 games. Now he's up to, I believe, 18 catches in his first 3 games.
Danny, he is unbelievable, and as a rookie, again, that's so impressive. It's almost like Amar-Ra when he came in. He impressed as a rookie. Now you see Sam, he's coming in here. He's blocking. He's going in motion. He's running routes. He's getting the necessary yardage that you need to pick up first downs. He's just doing it all out there, and it's refreshing to see this, especially out of a young guy as he is.
Sure thing. And Sam Laporta is our player of the game because he has to be. That 45-yard touchdown haul. His first career NFL touchdown. I mean, he came on the sidelines. It looked like business as usual. But you could tell Jared Goff, his reaction the moment he threw that, he was like, ooh, that looked pretty nice because Laporta just keeps being where he needs to be.
Did he get his ball? Did he keep the ball?
He did.
That's important, Danny. Your first ever, you got to make sure you keep that ball. But again, Sam was on it all day long. And it seemed like Jared was looking for him a lot in this game. Ben Johnson used him creatively. Like I say, he had him slotted way out. He had him tight. He had him moving in motion. He had him blocking. He had him doing some of everything today. It was just great to see, and he could be a weapon moving forward for us too.
And that was awesome to see. Jahmyr Gibbs, the other rookie on offense, celebrating with him after that. Jared Goff keeps going to Sam Laporta because almost every time he catches the ball, it's for a first down. Coming into this game, Laporta had 6 receptions for a first down of his 10 receptions through the first 2 games. I believe he added 2 more to that. So that means 8 out of his 18 catches have been for a first down.
That is so crazy.
Really impressive.
Well, right, that's his security blanket, so it's good to see.
And it's now multiple security blankets for Goff. That's what this offense is turning out to be. One that could be in the future, especially right now because David Montgomery is down, is the 12th overall pick in Jahmyr Gibbs at running back. He got the touches the people wanted to today. He kept knocking on the door. I thought he was going to score a touchdown in this one.
I know, Danny. I wanted him to get one, but I'm glad you look at those stats. He outrushed Bijan Robinson, and that's a guy that went before him. Bijan got a lot of the press, got a lot of talk coming into this game, but all Jahmyr did was carried the ball 17 times for 80 yards, averaging 4.7 yards a carry. It was just great to see him get acclimated to this offense. It was great to see Ben Johnson get him more involved in this offense, and you could kind of see, man, this guy's going to be something special. Once the game slows down for him, he's going to get better and better and better.
In comparison, Bijan Robinson had 10 carries for just 33 yards. A large part of that is the defensive front.
Oh,
they played out of their minds
yes,
today.
Especially Aleem McNeil. I don't know how many times I called his name up there, but every time I turned around, he was in the backfield. He was causing havoc back there. He was penetrating. I seen one time where he beat 2 offensive linemen and got to Desmond Ridder. Now, that's determination. That's grit, as Dan Campbell likes to say. That's grit. That's relentlessness. Aleem McNeil really set the tone up front. The rest of the guys kind of follow, and you can just kind of see it with the rest of the guys. Aiden Hutchinson, Charles Harris, all those guys got involved with that game and got involved in the party today.
Oh, it was a big party. Yes. Aleem McNeil, a.k.a. Mac, got 1 sack. He was highly involved in that party along with the rest of his crew. I got the chance to catch up with Mac after the game. Here's what he had to say about just the purpose that they came in with this game today. Aleem, your defensive coordinator, Aaron Glenn, said this week all levels needed to execute better. How personal did that unit take his message?
Very personal. We just came out here and did what we had to do what we were coached to do, but it was a very personal message. It's always personal week in and week out. But we definitely took that to heart, and there was things that we needed to do a lot better, and we came out here and we did it today. So it was very personal.
Atlanta leads with its rushing game, just 44 rushing yards today. How did your defense take away what they do best?
Just relentless and being violent. That's what they do, and they're going to run the ball 35, 40 times a game. And we knew if we wanted to win this game, we have to stop their run game because that's what they do a lot, and they're really good at it. But we knew we had to stop the run and win this ball game today.
Through the first 2 games, 1 sack for your defense. Today, 7 sacks alone. What changed when it came to getting to the quarterback?
Just locking in on our techniques and on our rush, being able to rush together, just being complimentary of each other while we're rushing the pocket. It was just a lot of different things that went into it today, and that we talked about throughout the whole week, and we finally put it all together today. So we just got to keep doing this week in and week out.
Thanks, Aleem. Congrats. Aleem, your defense. I want to know what this defense ate for breakfast, especially the defensive end, Aiden Hutchinson. 2 sacks. Yeah. He had that sack fumble. Really impressive day from him.
I don't know what we had for breakfast, but we had some quarterback for lunch out here today. So, I don't know what the breakfast menu was, but the lunch menu, quarterback. And that tasted good, too.
It must have, especially for Hutch. 2 sacks, like I mentioned, brought Atlanta Falcons back 22 yards, 2 passes defended, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery. Okay, so you're saying there's not a thing he didn't do today?
Right. I mean, maybe deliver some water out on the field to the other players.
He would have done it.
He probably would have. Sister singing the national anthem.
Shout out to Mia Hutchinson.
Oh, my God.
That national anthem.
Talent just permeates in that family.
It does.
And that young man right there, he put it on full display out here on Ford Field today. He was relentless. And we could talk about the stats right there, but Danny, it was so many little things that he did throughout that game that kind of changed the course of that game. So Aiden Hutchinson, he brought his A game along with Aleem McNeil. Those guys got the message from Aaron Glenn earlier this week.
All right, let's see what message Aiden Hutchinson has for us at the podium. He's standing by.
Yeah, I thought we had good rush lanes, and we were playing well all the way around. So I think we found out how to rush the passer this week.
Can you explain the mental fatigue? Maybe 2 weeks in, you've got a ton of pressures. You're getting to the quarterback, you're moving off the spot, but just the sacks aren't there to go even 4 quarters into this one before it arrives. Just how tough is it to, stay focused on the mission at hand when that's the case?
100%. This game really did test my mental toughness. It's hard, man, when you you feel like you're playing at a high level, but the numbers are just the production doesn't come. So it's frustrating. That's the game of football, and I thought I had to get a little mentally tough today, you know. You're so proud of the boys for producing, so proud of the boys for getting after it, you know. And I also wanted to be a part of it, you know. So it's took some mental toughness, but you know, this game is 4 quarters, you know. So gotta play till the end.
When you finally get home, the relief. What do you feel when you get that first one?
Yeah, it was great, man. I was waiting to do the stanky leg for about 3 games now, so it's been in my head for a very long time. So yeah, I'm gonna have to start thinking about some new dances now.
You said you guys played like a hungry, physical team today, Aiden. How much did you take last week's game personally, maybe as a defense?
Yeah, last week was rough. You know, it was a game that you know we had our eyes on, and they got the better of us defensively. So we wanted to come out this week and prove a point, and I think you know we did that. But I mean, it's only one game, so it's just going to be a consistent long battle that we're going to have to do with our defense. So I don't think we're getting too high. I'm not, you know. I mean, it's exciting, but you know, I mean, with the loss last week, win this week, it's just the ebbs and flows of the game. So you got to stay consistent with it.
As a team that loves to run the football, I think they're coming in averaging 170 and a half yards per game. We've got 44 today. Just talk about you guys' ability to stop them on the ground. That obviously was probably job number 1 coming in, right?
Yeah, I'm surprised they got away from it more. I thought they were gonna, especially in the second half, get back to, you know, that's their foundation, is their, you know, that bounce run game. So I thought they were gonna get back to it, but they didn't. So I don't know. I thought we did a good job stopping the runs that we got, but it was not the game I expected it to be.
Did you guys take them out of their game?
I don't know. I mean, what we saw on film, they stick with it. You know, 3rd and 8, they're running the ball. You know, so I thought this game was going to be a lot different than it was. So it's interesting.
They're saying they hit by pressures not only from yourself but from the staff. I guess like what was the level of urgency entering this game, not to start and then go 1-2-0, going to obviously playing Green Bay next week. What was the level of urgency this week? Obviously, this game bouncing back.
Yeah, it's when you have a team like ours with the talent that we got. You know, I mean, going into this year, you know that this was going to be our year, you know, and after a tough loss like that, you know, with the guys that we have, there's no other way, you know. You got to bounce back. So that was the plan, and we did that, and we just got to continue it. Yeah, big shout out to my sister Mia for killing it. I knew she was going to kill it. It definitely added some extra nerves going into the game. So I'm glad it's over with. But I think she did a really good job, and hopefully I'm sure they'll have her back because she killed it.
Dan said that he challenged you guys this week. He's not the easiest to get along with, he even said. What kind of ways did he challenge you guys or push you guys to bounce back from last week?
You know, you gotta you know, they say stuff to get to you a little bit, and you know, that's why I think it's important to not kind of block it all out in the good and the bad, you know, because when it's all good and everyone's happy, and then you lose a game and then everyone turns on you, you know, that's why I think it's important to just stay with what you know and trust, you know, how you got here, and keep moving through.
You see significance to that particular
Saint, great game. Is that the best catch you've ever made?
Actually, there was one better.
When? The Chicago game?
Minnesota?
No, getting Cure Auto Insurance.
Are you for real?
Seriously, when I got here in Michigan, car insurance was the worst. But saving up to 40% by switching to Cure was my best catch.
Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well.
Detroit Lions Live is brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Log on to cure.com to see how you can save. It's kind of hard to imagine still that Aiden Hutchinson is only in his second year. With his production, with how he carries himself, with how he speaks. How does he, where rather has he grown the most?
I think And that's a great question, Danny. I think that you can see the maturity coming with Aiden. You can see that the game is starting to slow down with him. You can see some of the things that he's doing out on the field, and he seems to be feeling more and more comfortable about that. Again, he was saying in the press conference he didn't think this game went the way they thought it was going to go. He expected Atlanta to do some other things. That's great when you're able to make adjustments, as the game goes along. So you can kind of see those little things that's happening for him the more and more experience that he gets.
And for a defense to dictate an offense and what they do that much, that it changes the entire game plan.
Right.
Aiden Hutchinson, his sack, fumble recovery is our play of the game. It has to be, because this play got the ball back in his offense's hands so that they could just kneel this out. And here it is. It's a beauty. Right in the fourth quarter. Falcons weren't, necessarily threatening to win, but they were threatening to score, and Hutch said, nope.
Oh, Danny, I'm telling you, the momentum started switching. So that was a big play for Aiden to come up with. And then you get the sack, the fumble, and the recovery, and then the stanky leg, the little dance. I think he's going to have to work on that. Me and Aiden might have to work on that little dance. It's supposed to come up just a little bit more, Danny. Just a little bit more, okay?
We'll see if he takes that to heart. Another defensive player I want to highlight. Can you guess which one I want to highlight? I just want to know.
Brian Branch?
No.
We talked about Brian.
It's Tracy Walker.
Oh, my God.
Come on.
Thank you.
You knew
Thank you,
that.
Danny. Thank you.
Tracy Walker, it's been about 364 days since he's played in a game today after he went through a really bad injury, tore his Achilles. C.J. Gardner-Johnson was signed this past season. He filled that void of Tracy Walker, and Walker just couldn't get back to his starting role just because of the amount of talent that was put onto this team. Well, he's back.
Yes, and the old saying, they say stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I think Walker tweeted that a few times.
There you go, and he was ready.
He's ready.
He was ready. That one hit. And that's the thing about Tracy. When he comes in and he lay the wood to those guys, everybody in here gets excited. It gets the team excited. It was a welcoming sight to see Tracy back out there. I love Tracy Walker. I was happy to see him back out there. Hopefully he could continue to stay healthy and continue to make impact plays like he made today.
Almost 2 interceptions.
Yes,
Almost.
I know.
And I know that got to him. All right, another key part of the secondary is the rookie Brian Branch, who we touched on earlier in the show because you have to. He was everywhere. He led this team in tackles today, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. He was coming up everywhere and affecting everyone on that offense. So here's his final stats. 11 tackles, which I mentioned, lead the team. 3 of those TFLs and 2 passes defended.
Yeah, and then Danny, solos. Those mean they weren't assisted tackles, so that means he made the tackle on his own.
Yep.
And you're right, man. It's just the enthusiasm that he brings to the game. And just to see a young player take strides the way he's been doing ever since he got in the league. He was doing this during training camp. He really showed the coaches what he had. And he was a guy that you couldn't keep off the field this year. He was going to get playing time. And this guy, I tell you what, his best game of the year was this game here. I expect him to continue to grow, and grow.
Detroit's just not going to keep these rookies under wraps.
No.
It's here. Prepare for it.
That's right.
There's no more secrets because they've all laid it out. All of them really progressing. A veteran in this league is Charles Harris.
Yeah.
Up there, up front, defensive end, outside linebacker. He had a sack today, and I feel like this is the time of the year when Charles Harris starts to come on. You give him a game or two, he warms up, and then he goes in and he takes what's his. How does he affect this defense?
Man, I love Charles. I love what Charles does out there on this defense, and he's relentless. That's what I could pretty much say that about all our defensive linemen. These guys are relentless getting after that quarterback, and it shows how they would collapse in the pocket, how they wasn't letting Desmond break contain. They did everything that they needed to do to keep him in there, keep him uncomfortable for the rest of the day, and really put pressure on him. I'm expecting more from Charles Harris, Derek Barnes, all those guys really took a step forward today.
They sure did. Offensively, we've got to go back to the sun god. Amon-Ra St. Brown continues to be a security blanket. We saw him drop a pass here, and we're just like, didn't know what to do with ourselves.
I didn't know how to react to that.
I didn't know how. It's just not typical.
Thank you. I mean, Danny, we don't ever see things like that happen, but it happened to the Sun God. But guess what? He bounced back. He came back 9 catches for 102 yards.
102. Like,
are you kidding me?
So easy. And it is easier when
Thank
every
you.
ball you catch is for over 11 yards. Longest reception on the day was 20, and he was targeted 12 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, but
I mean,
like
he wants
it.
all 12 of those targets.
But Danny, those stats, you could pretty much write those down for every game because his stats pretty much look the same. Double-figure catches almost, and over 100 yards.
That is a consistent man.
That's right.
That's what happens when you are consistent every single day in practice, which we talk about all the time.
That's right.
His quarterback, Jared Goff, is at the podium. Let's hear what QB1 has to say.
Yeah.
What goes through your mind, I guess, on a zone read keeper? It's a decision we're going to make a whole lot.
Yeah, it's truly a read, and the end crashed, and we pull it. We've had that play up a handful of times over the last couple of years, and kind of that was the first great look at it to get the touchdown. But yeah, it's exciting to be able to kind of put the game out of reach that way.
What did you say about Sam that he keeps making plays even though teams have to be trying to cover him?
Yeah, they're going to have to start. He's a stud, man, and he does a great job. And had that play kind of rigged up all week. We knew he liked it, and he ran a great route and was able to throw it to him wide open. It's a good one to hit there. It feels good.
Did you guys feel the urgency coming into this week? Dan talked about the defense. Certainly they challenged them. And overall, coming off a loss, did you really feel it this week?
Yeah, sure. I think they all feel that way. But, yeah, we want to get one in front of our home fans. We let them down last week and wanted to make sure we got this one for them. And, yeah, speaking of the defense, I don't think, they could have played much better. They played their tails off, and ending it with a strip sack there, it's pretty impressive what they did. Kept us in that game. Certainly picked me up after the interception and did a good job.
I know it's only a extreme sample size, but you're having a lot of confidence in Sam Woodward.
Yeah.
And he's really playing well for you.
Yeah.
When did it start, and when did you see something special?
Yeah, the first day he was at OTAs probably. He's a stud. He's a stud and has great feel for the game, has great hands, obviously, has good speed, blocks well when we ask him to block. But I know for me personally, he does a great job in the route progression. I think the most exciting part about him, and I'm sure he'd say this, is he's not even playing as well as he really could. There's still some little rookie things that happen here or there that, the sky's the limit for him. And it's going to be fun to hopefully play with him for a long time.
It falls apart if it's not executed by the players, but it seems like you guys have a lot of guys running open deep today. Play design is really good. So can you just comment on the game plan been put together for those shot plays on the third downs and some of those deep plays?
Yeah, I thought he did a hell of a job. We kind of had an idea of how we wanted the game to go and had a few more of those shot plays in this week to take advantage of them. I missed the one to Khalif, and we hit the one to Sam on the same drive, which kind of ultimately makes up for it in some ways. But you'd like to hit them all. And, yeah, I thought he did a great job.
It's been a big part of your success, it seems like, this year when you've had the mistake, whether it's the interception or the misplays, like you are coming back and touchdown drive there or the touchdown to Sam. So
Yeah.
Is that something, like, as you've gotten older in the league, just learning to settle down and recover from your own mistakes?
Yeah, I think, more importantly than making, the big play every time is how do you respond to the bad ones. That's the most important thing at our position at quarterback in this league. It's hard, man. You're going to make mistakes. That's about as bad as I've thrown a ball in my career. Just straight missed them. And, how do I respond the next, drive, the next play to be as best I can. And that's where I think you're truly judged is after the bad plays and being able to respond.
How big those runs by Gibbs there?
Yeah, awesome.
It seemed like he really kind of settled in.
Yeah, I thought Ben called it great there, kind of getting him settled in towards the end and getting some holes for him there at the end. Certainly behind that left side, they were doing a great job with Jonah and Panay, and he did the rest, man. He's a good player. Yeah. Yeah, it's a tough spot for Skip, and then it's definitely a tough spot for Colby after that, having to play tackle. I don't know how many reps he's had at that, but he battled, man. He really battled. They both did. Skip, I know he went out with the injury, but they both battled, and I thought they did a good job. I'll have to watch the film, obviously, but your first snaps at a position you haven't played is tough. But he battled and gave us a chance to win there.
How many rows up do you think you threw the ball out?
Not very many. The interception was the worst ball I've ever thrown. That was maybe the second one. That ball didn't come out of my hand very well.
The INT, was that feel yourself pressing it all just because the offense, you hadn't put a lot of points and it seemed like you
Yeah.
hit a little bit?
No. Certainly, me, you mean?
Yeah.
No. The interception. I mean, again, he's wide open. I got to hit him all day long, and I don't know if I've ever missed like that. It's just a crappy throw, and we can laugh at it now because we won. But crappy throw put our defense in a bad spot, and they were able to get the ball back for us and pick me up. And I think that's what good teams do, though. You're going to have bad plays, or we're going to have to pick up our defense at times. They're going to have to pick up me at times, and that's what we did today. And I think to answer your question though, like, when our defense is playing as well as they are, we don't feel the need to press as much. We knew we were in control of that game. We knew our defense was playing as well as you guys saw they were, and we had plenty of chances to finish it off there.
Jared, going back to just the idea of bouncing back.
I love my stat from the great Lomas Brown. Jared Goff's first ever rushing touchdown as a Lion today.
Okay, Twinkle Toes got it done today.
We love that for him.
Yes.
No, awesome to hear that. We're hoping for some more from him. We've got to go talk about around the league here to start things off. It's an interesting one here in the league. Let's see if the laptop works or the graphic works. Here's the graphic. Okay. We saw this game already happen, Giants-San Fran. I don't really know what to think about it.
That wasn't no game.
You can think about it as well. Cleveland, Tennessee. I'm not sure I saw Cleveland winning by 24 points.
I didn't either.
Okay, we will touch on this more, but Green Bay scores 18 unanswered points and gets it done against New Orleans.
Got it done.
Derek Carr suffered a right shoulder injury, so he was ruled out. Jameis Winston replaced him. Couldn't get it done.
That's an error.
That's not
That's
right,
an
right?
error.
The Miami
that can't
Dolphins.
Be right.
That's not
Danny,
right?
Are you kidding me?
How many did they score? Is that right?
70.
I'm sorry.
I don't think I've ever seen that
Okay,
before.
I just want to say to Anthony Bellino, if you're watching this, I took Tyreek Hill today.
Ooh, you got a lot of fantasy points.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Vikings. Okay, yeah. Chargers narrowly escaped the Vikings. Man, I thought we were going to be the only NFC North team to win today. And that really crushed me. Yeah. Jets lose to Pats. Okay, I have no.
That's like the 8th time in a row.
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, 37-3. Bills get it done over the Commanders. This is a high-scoring Sunday. Everyone ate their Wheaties on offense today. Houston. Oh, okay. Are these scores correct? Okay. Texans beat Jags 37-17. Colts. I'm sorry. Are these scores correct? Can someone confirm? I believe in our graphics team. Oh my gosh, NFL, what is going on today? I know Kansas City, Chicago squaring off. The only reason I know that is because Taylor Swift is in the stands cheering on Travis Kelce with Travis's mom.
Okay.
I don't know if that's 100% real yet.
We needed that. That was a stat that we needed.
That was a stat. I mean, I could see it being a PR stunt.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce's in just about every NFL commercial when it goes to break. So we'll see if that relationship develops. I'll keep you posted, Lomas.
Thank you.
Big test Thursday night in Green Bay at Lambeau. Last time Lions went there, it was pretty fun. I'm not going to lie.
It was a
Week
lot
18
of fun.
dub, a couple of interceptions against Aaron Rodgers and his career in Green Bay.
That's right.
Yeah. A lot of that. Okay. What's the big key when Detroit goes in there?
We're going to go in there. We need to take care of business. Danny, look, Love, he's proven that he's a pretty good quarterback in this league. So, again, we need to duplicate what we did on the defensive side of the ball here, which is to get pressure on him, try to stop the run because they got the Aaron Jones coming back this week. So it's going to be a tough test, especially because it's on Thursday. It's a short week.
Yep.
And
These
we're
Lions
still
already
dealing with
banged up.
injuries. Yep, still dealing with them.
Jordan Love today was 22 of 44 for 259 yards, interception, a touchdown.
All right.
That's all right.
Yeah, all right.
Not bad for a guy who's gained his first, real action in the NFL as QB1.
You're right. I mean, he learned up under one of the best. So, and he's showing flashes of being a very, very good quarterback. But I don't know too many quarterbacks that are good when they're getting that pressure put in their face. So that's what we need to continue to do, get pressure on these quarterbacks.
I bet Jordan Love does not enjoy hearing about the Lions' 7 sacks. Today, is that your big takeaway? What is it?
Yeah, my big takeaway is the Lions bounce back. The Lions had a lot of injuries coming into this game. We sustained more injuries during this game, but the guys, they were relentless today. They played dirty today. And when I mean dirty, they played physical with Atlanta. That's what they had to do to get this victory. And Danny, guess what? We walking out of Ford Field with a victory.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Lions are going to have to be even more physical in Green Bay at Lambeau. We always know that is the case. Packers are going to bring everything against these Lions. It's going to be a good one. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. You got your Amazon account yet?
Yeah, I do have my Amazon.
If you don't, you do now.
Amazon is hurting me too. I get so many packages, Danny.
I'm sure it's all you. That's incredible. Okay, yeah, this was a fun one yet again today inside Ford Field. The fans brought it. Defense brought it. Yes. Jared Goff and the offense that's been banged up.
Yes.
They brought it. And the final from Detroit is 20-6. We'll be out on the road. We leave Wednesday.
Yes, short week for us too.
Short week.
Yes.
Thursday Night Football is upon us. All right, for Lomas Brown, I'm Dannie Rogers. Thanks for tuning in to the Detroit Lions post-game show. We'll see you in Green Bay.